In 2014, a mass Ebola outbreak struck much of West Africa, in particular Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Tsuchi's compassion and relief was immediately put into action, but traveling to the countries affected was not going to be easy as the virus was still alive, deadly, and unknown. Stephen Fomba, a native of Sierra Leone who had left the United States to return home and help his people, was also a member of Tsuchi and decided to take action and bring aid for his fellow Sierra Leoneans.
Having the opportunity to come, multiple times in 2015 during the Ebola peak and going back to Taiwan and reporting to Master Cheng Ying and the Tsuchi family gave me the feel that, if the Tsuchi family around the world is giving so much to Sierra Leone, why shouldn't I sacrifice even more being a Sierra Leonean? March of 2015, we came in with our first consignment of 10 containers of food supplies for Ebola orphans, Ebola-affected communities, and other vulnerable populations.
With the dots beginning to connect thanks to Stephen, Tsuchi volunteers quickly organized their first trip to Sierra Leone. When they got there, volunteers saw much of the work that had been done prior to their arrival, thanks to the love and care provided by partners like the Healy Foundation, Caritas, and Lanyi Foundation, all of whom had assisted Stephen to coordinate and manage aid distributions throughout the country.
Sierra Leone, like many other countries, there's so many areas rely on different NGO to collaborate, to team up, to make the relief works more powerful and more meaningful.
Sushi Foundation is the donor organization. They provide us with medical supplies, food, and other relief materials. And we're kind of like their logistics and implementation partner.
The partnership has a lot of dimension. It's not only the receiving of goods, but also shows the world that it's possible for us to walk in spite of our faith, in spite of our belief. So we show the world, there are so many religious divisions, there are so many wars about religion. We, in this partnership, want to show the world that it's possible to walk in spite of our difference of faith, that there are commonalities. And the human person is what we are all interested in.
Even with Ebola on the ground, they sent the team with those medical supplies. Since then, they have sent shoes and clothes, which we have distributed to vulnerable communities and Ebola survivors.
Tsuchi has been the first foundation who has really reached out to 3,748 Ebola survivors since 2014.
The first stop for volunteers was to see the shoes, beds, and blankets that were distributed in use. At the Allentown Interim Care Center and School, volunteers were greeted with open arms and love as they assessed how the shoes were being used and considered their future work here. Newton was the next stop, where the village visited was an interim care center for those wounded during the Civil War and orphans of the Ebola epidemic.
Through your eyes, even though you lost a lot, you see the hope from your eyes, the hope from you want to learn, the hope you helping each other.
Tsuchi volunteers saw that the orphans were using the foldable beds and wearing the shoes and listened to their stories.
I am an amputee boy. My father is dead now, and my mother is also dead. That's why Caritas bring me in the home to support me. At the age of 6 years, I lost all two the parents. When I sleep on the bed, I feel happy, I feel nicely, and I feel good.
What do you want to do later when you're older? What do you?
When I'm old,
yeah.
I would like to help people who are suffering, people who are suffering from diseases. I would like to help them.
Newton is also where Tsuchi distributed bags of rice to many villagers who are still recovering from the Ebola crisis and who desperately need food samples before the hungry season returns to the region.
I have 7 children. I received 9 bags. I feel good because we are looking for this type of help, and really we are suffering. So I'm telling people, you thank you, a lot of thank you. We are very glad of what you done today for us.
Situated near the border of Sierra Leone with Liberia and Guinea, Koindu is where the Kisi tribe lives and roams freely between the three countries. This is also where the Ebola outbreak began, and due to the nomadic nature of the tribe, the epidemic quickly spread. Tsuchi conducted another distribution of rice in this town, where residents are still reeling from the effects of the deadly outbreak that nearly decimated the tribe.
Ja mi manda chu kwe banda chu fen hola bi tiene mala nan tinani ngo ko mani an ma ebola lwela banda chu fen pwe mala nan tinani ko mani an chu ama kwe ndo nan da tinani ma ebola lwe lendende botembu pwe ndo yesala we tanga pwe ya matwa ya gini to wo ma che sala bo tanga o ebola yene yesala tanga bo pwe Onambo ko tamata ma pare tiele mfuli mi be kwe wan wono ne ka senye dia ko malo mun ko la mun diom because ito tava lo ke malo nturu wale mi bo me ne ka bai ka mi tola ho tola ko pe.
No matter how far or remote the place in need of help, Tsuchi's love and compassion will find it. The people of Sierra Leone desperately needed a light at the end of a very dark tunnel, and the distributions and presence of Tsuchi volunteers provided just that, reassurance of hope and a bright future for Sierra Leone.